Macca's Guides.
Hey everyone, Macca here, continuing Resident Evil 4 Remake Collectibles Guide. The first thing we can do in chapter number 14 is right as soon as we spawn, we can find the crystal ore in the room where Ashley is. Then we can use the little boost up here, which we need to use in order to proceed with the mission. So you can't really miss this, that's why I'm not showing you the map. It would be almost impossible to miss at this point. And once she goes through, she'll open up the door, and behind the door on the other side of it, you'll be able to find a merchant request for the 5th version of Destroy the Blue Medallions. Now next up, this is pretty important, this is your last shooting range, 4A, 4B, and 4C. There are also a couple of achievements or trophies tied to shooting ranges, so I'd highly recommend making a save at the merchant here and keeping it as a backup so you can come back to this if you want. You'll need to get at least an S rank on every single one, and additionally you can get a Trickshot achievement / trophy. You need to take out 5 targets in one shot. The easiest way to get this is in range 4C. Use the sniper rifle on the enemies on the right, or use the wide shotgun to shoot all of the enemies when they appear in the middle. We're now going to go back to the merchant, and again, I'm going to recommend and advise you to make a backup save that you keep safe on the typewriter here so you can revisit the shooting ranges. But from the merchant, you can leave, walk forward and to the steps in front of you, looking up and behind you to find a hanging container, which you can shoot down to reveal Alexandrite inside. Now we can destroy a couple of blue medallions. From where we exited the door, look over the cliff's edge to your right to find one. Go up the stairs and turn around looking at the building we came out of to find number 2. And then continue along the path and drop down, looking into a dumpster on the left-hand side to find the gold bangle. Probably not the best place to keep it. From here, feel free to take out all of the enemies, but if you run forward and keep to the left of the area, there's 2 red containers with a medallion in between them. On the opposite side of this small area, you can find another one near what looks like some kind of a oil barrel or some kind of a liquid storage container. And on the far back left side, look up and away from the staircase on this large container, huge container, and find your 5th medallion. From here, we can grab the next treasure by going up the stairs and then into the next room where some enemies will be waiting for you. But go to the left, and as you're approaching the end of the hall, look up and through the pipes, or just go to the end of the hall and look directly above your head. You should notice another container which you can shoot down to reveal some velvet blue inside. You'll then end up in an area called waste disposal, or basically you're on your way to waste disposal, and you'll know that because you are quite literally going to go into the sewers here. And there is an emerald. As you crouch underneath the pipe, stick to the left-hand side to find it on the ground. Definitely not a place you want to store an emerald. You'll then eventually reach waste disposal. You'll use Ashley to basically hold the bridge open for you. And at this point, you can cross the bridge and go into the first room, noticing the ornate necklace on some of the controls in the middle. After a little bit of progression, you'll end up coming across the merchant. There's a hallway with a red lamp at the end. You'll come through the door to find the merchant. On the right-hand side, there is a merchant request called Even More Pest Control for shooting 4 rats. We're actually going to head back to where we came from, as there are 4 located inside of waste disposal. As you enter back where you came from, take a left-hand turn to where you originally came from, and you should notice one in the hallway that leads into the room. It does wander back and forth like all of them, though. Next up, what you want to do is you want to get Ashley to hold open the bridge for you, and there will be a rat on the other side of the bridge. It does run a loop around the center object, so keep your eyes peeled for it and just be patient and go check it out. But on the opposite side of the bridge, you should find your second one. Next up, what you want to do is you want to go to the very end of the hallways again, wait for your flashlight, And watch out for the enemy if it didn't get dunked into the water like it should have. And then at the end of all of these hallways, cross the bridge back towards the controls. And here there will be 2 more rats. One wanders in the room on the left and the hallway in the middle. And then the 4th one usually wanders on the hallway to the right, as well as a little bit in between the hallways. So just keep your eyes peeled for both of them. They can be a little bit hard to spot, but if you use a headset, you can hear them. You can definitely see them if you're patient, and then you are good to go with all 4 rats. Next up, you end up in the large open area where you use the wrecking ball to get access to the next room, basically. And here you would ride an elevator to the top. But instead, we're going to get a merchant request for the Wandering Dead. This is a hint that you should now backtrack. So we're going to use this door here as a shortcut back to the merchant that we interacted with earlier, almost near the beginning of the level. We're actually going to backtrack to the previous chapter where we got the 2 birds, 1 stone achievement. And here I would recommend that you use the typewriter to make a backup save. The reason is we're basically going to be fighting a little bit of a mini boss. It's very easy to use too much ammo or take too much damage. And if you're unhappy with your run, it's really easy to pause the game and load your last save to try again and not waste as much ammo. I would personally recommend using a rifle with the biosensor on it for this, as we're taking out one of those parasites. This is like a mega parasite that has like 6 or 7 weak spots, and it's going to be located in the middle of this incubation room. So take your time and use your rifle to take out all of its weak spots. I'm going to fast forward a little bit here so you don't have to watch me struggle a little bit, but when you're happy with the run and take it out, you will complete the merchant request. You'll then progress through the mission where you're supposed to go, ending up in the amber storage room. Inside of this room, before you try to leave, you can grab the crystal ore on the far left side on top of one of the boxes near a forklift. Then you'll have to go through the door, and there will be a bunch of enemies, which I've already taken out. Move to the right-hand side, following the tunnel to end up on the top floor, and then turn to the right-hand side, looking through the door of this small building, finding the Castellan sitting on the locker. Additionally, in this area, we can find a gold bar treasure by dropping down and going inside of the tent in the middle of the area. Inside the tent, there's a treasure chest, and inside that treasure chest is your treasure. Last but not least, at the very end of this chapter, there is a boss fight. Feel free to complete it in whatever means you feel necessary. I end up using the rocket launcher. But as soon as that boss fight is over, you will get the fighting knife. Thank you for watching the video. I hope it was helpful. Special thanks to everyone on Patreon for supporting the show. Peace.